How's it going, everybody? Doing a request here today. I guess it is a request, but they wanted to, do some gum chewing with talking about my top favorite games, which I have done. I do a top 10. I did at least a top 5. I might have did a top 10 at one point too, but I did say I would do some. I do a vid talking about some other favorite games of mine, and I might actually make it into kind of not a series, but do it from time to time. Pick like 3, 4, 5 games and just chat about them. But I got 4 games here today. Try to do some noises. I need to be better at like tapping and stuff during these vids. I kind of just stick to whispering and stuff. First game is Scooby-Doo, classic Grape Capers. I've talked about this in my pickup vid when I picked it up a few weeks ago. This is an awesome game. This is obviously not my original one, but I got this in Christmas of '99. I believe it was this Majora's Mask I had gotten. I really enjoyed this game a lot back then. I played a little bit of it again when I got it a few weeks ago. It's Scooby-Doo. It's kind of like a point and click, but not. It has point and click elements where you have to find certain stuff, to unlock a new area. You gotta find the screwdriver to fit into this and that kind of stuff, that kind of stuff from those puzzle type games and those point and click King's Quest type games. But you use Shaggy and Scooby. I think you might only use Shaggy, but you're always hanging out with Scoob. The other ones are there. Fred, Daphne, and Velma, and you can talk to them and stuff. This game is short, unfortunately. I think there was 4 cases or mysteries, and then there was 1 extra one that was kind of short. The extra one was like, the rest of the gang's been captured and you kind of have to free them. But the first one's in like a museum, and it has the knight in it. They all have actual enemies from the show. The one is with the tiki. I forget what that one was, but that's in like Hawaii, I believe. There's one with the abominable snowman up in the mountains in a hotel. And these are all based off episodes of the show. Or, they were actual episodes of the show. I can't remember what the 4th one was. There was the knight, the tiki, abominable snowman. I can't remember the 4th one. I don't know why I can't remember the 4th one. There definitely wasn't 3 with just that extra 4th one. I'm pretty sure there's 4 main ones. I can't remember though. But it's cool. Graphically, it still actually kind of holds up. But back then, it was actually a really good looking game. It's fun, It's a nice little mystery type game, point and click type game, adventure puzzly adventure game. And you have to hide from the enemies and occasionally and stuff as well. You have to blend in with something. You put on an outfit and you blend in, stuff like that. You end up in a kitchen. I think maybe each one has a kitchen where you gotta eat a bunch of food. But actually, it's a really cool game. I can't remember that, man. I'll have to look that up later. I can't remember. I could look it up now, but whatever. But yeah. Check this out if you got an N64. It was only $15, so I actually had it was a black cartridge. I didn't realize he made a gray one as well. But that's the first game. Second game here is I picked this up because I like Stuntman. Did I get this? I'm trying to think if I got this at the video game trading post or I got it off eBay. I can't remember. Either way, I love Stuntman on the PS2, and I like Stuntman Ignition as well. I just really love both those games. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick it up. I was looking at reviews and screenshots and stuff. I'm like, it looks decent. It's a bite-sized version of it. It is the first game. It follows the same movies. But it's really fun. It's like I said, it's bite-sized, so you're not doing as much stuff per level. The levels are quick, kind of, in the main game too, but it's a lot of trial and error. You'll screw up, retry. If you screw up a certain amount of things, you fail the level. So you can't mess up more than like 2 or 3 times. You're hitting boxes, you gotta overtake cars, you're queuing explosions, you're hitting ramps and having to land in a certain area. Stuff like that, or like get close to certain objects or kind of bump things. It's really addictive on the GBA though. I really enjoy it. It looks really good too, actually. It pushes the limitations of the hardware, I should say. It pushes the hardware to its limits, I think. There's no music in this game, which is weird. Like, when you play the levels, there's like no music. Not that it matters. But like I said, it's trial and error. You'll keep playing and playing and playing. You'll be like, okay, boom, boom, boom. But it's quick, you know. It'll still get annoying from time to time, but it's quick, you know. You'll be like, oh, 30 seconds. Oh, gotta restart, you know. Similar like a Tony Hawk or something like that, where you like restart a level. You're like, I'm not doing well enough. Restart. It's not gonna work on this. But check this out if you have a GBA, and if you're into the Stuntmans, absolutely check it out, because I knew about this game, but I just never had it. I mean, I had GBAs briefly from time to time, but it just wasn't on my radar. I knew about it, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna grab it now. It was fairly cheap, and I was playing the shit out of this game. Like, for a handheld game, like I said back in May, I was playing it for like 2 hours straight, like, just because trial and error and stuff, you know. Some of the levels took me a while. Like, these games are hard. They're hard to perfect, and some are even hard to advance past because you can't get to the next area or movie if you don't, because obviously you're a stuntman, so you're just doing movies. And they're all kind of parodies on other movies, like Live Twice for Tomorrow is like the James Bond one and stuff. But another really cool game that I absolutely highly recommend. It's really good. Stuntman for the GBA. Third game here, I've talked about it in collection videos and stuff, but it's for the Vita. It's Uncharted Golden Abyss. It's not made by Naughty Dog. Good tapping on these Vita cases. This one's made by Bend Studio. I originally played this when I first got my Vita. I got it for my birthday in 2014. I can't believe I've had that thing for 7 years. But I still had a PlayStation Plus for a little bit. And they were giving like free game, you know, they're doing the free games, but there was like a bunch. It was like they gave you a bunch of PS3 games if you had it. And Vita games as well. And this is one of the games that was free, as well as Dragon's Crown, where I first played that there. And it's other ones like I think Gravity Rush I played as well. I hadn't played full, but I played it, which was a cool game as well. It's Uncharted. This is a prequel. I can't remember everything. I'm pretty sure Sully's in this one as well. But you have Nolan North voicing Drake again. It looks really good. Like, this game is another game that's pushing the hardware. You know, it's comparable to a PS3 game. I wouldn't say it's exactly like a PS3 game, but it's comparable. There's some other, guys, characters you meet. I don't think it popped up in any other games at any point. You can do a lot. The thing that's cool about this is you can do a lot with the Vita itself. You use the touch screens, both the front and back, kind of touch pads or whatever they call them on here. Touch screen and the rear touch pad and the touch screen. You can use the motion censoring stuff. You do use the camera as well. I remember using the camera. It was cool. There was like a little puzzle thing or whatever, and you had to hold it up to the light, like a light in your room. I was holding up to the light, and you use the touch pad. The touch screen, and you wipe off stuff. And it's actually they used everything the Vita had to offer in pretty unique ways, which was cool. You take pictures of stuff as well. I think that was kind of part of a side thing, I guess. You had to take pictures of certain things. The controls took a little bit to get used to, the shooting and stuff, but once you get used to it, it's pretty good. You're finding little hidden jewels and stuff like the other games. I can't remember a lot about the story. It says here, uncover the dark secret behind the 400-year-old massacre of a Spanish expedition. As Nathan Drake races into Central America in search of a legacy, a legendary lost city. I had picked up 2 copies of it when the Walmart in Sunrise Mall was closing. They still had some games left for dirt cheap, so I picked those up and sold them. And then I got this one again like 2 years ago at GameStop. It was 2 for $20. I got this in Earth Defense Force 2. I'm glad I got I'm glad some of you guys got me Vita games as well from Amazon, but I'm also glad I was picking up these Vita games from even eBay and GameStop when they still had them, because I got Persona 4 Golden for $20 new, and I think like early 2019. That game used now sells for like $80. I have to check. Maybe it's gone down, or maybe it's gone up even further. So that's 2 years. It's crazy. These Vita games, I think, are going to continue to either gain value or just kind of stay the same. But either way, I'm glad I got a majority of the ones I did. But yeah, if you have a Vita and you can get a hold of this, I don't know. This probably sells for like $40 now, but pick it up because it's fun. It looks great. It controls, like I said, take a little bit to get used to, but once you do, it's pretty good. It makes use of all the capabilities of the Vita system itself in unique ways, which is cool. I remember the story being alright. I did beat this game though. I didn't collect a lot of the treasures, so I want to do more of that. But I am glad I picked it up again. It's Uncharted. Golden Abyss. It is a prequel to the first one. I can't remember if Sully's in this one. He might not be. It might not be Sully. There might be somebody else you're hanging around with. I can't remember. The fourth one here is a more recent game. So, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This is my original copy. My fiance got me this for Valentine's Day in 2017. But I wanted to pick it up again because it was cheap. It was like $16. I wanted to play the DLC stuff. I had only played some of the Not a Hero one because it was free. But this game is awesome. It's in first person, obviously, like 8 is as well now, but this game is super fun, man. Like, it's creepy as hell, at least I think it is. I think there's Evelyn, was that what they called her? some spoilers here. They've been overtaken by Evelyn. Is her name Evelyn? And they're like the mold. She's like causing them to do stuff and shit. And they mutate and everything. I should actually uncover. I think I mentioned that in the review. Spoilers and what happened to Ethan in terms of the mold and stuff in 8. But legitimately creepy game. This is the first Resident Evil that truly creeped me out. And I like most of the Resident Evils I like. I always like their atmosphere, but I didn't find them overly creepy. It works in first person. You go through a lot of shit in this one. The DLC is awesome. Like I said, I wanted to get it for that. And you have 21's the one you do with Lucas. It's like similar to Saw. I've talked about these in another video. It's similar to the movie Saw. You gotta like, you can lose fingers. You're playing against like another person that Lucas has kidnapped or whatever. There's one where like this Saw thing is coming back and forth at you. Electricity in one, you lose fingers in another. You gotta like get the answers right or whatever. Really cool. Bedroom's cool because you play as somebody else with it. You find VHS tapes throughout the game, and the first one's like these people going to the house in Louisiana to like a paranormal show, and I think you're using the cameraman from that. But you're strapped to a bed and you gotta figure out it. You gotta like escape from the bed and you gotta keep doing stuff. It's like a puzzle room almost. And Marguerite keeps coming in, like if you make too much noise, you gotta like get back in there and stuff, and you gotta make sure everything's right because she'll know you were up. Really unique and different DLC. End of Zoe was you use Jack Baker's brother. He finds Zoe and you gotta help her. And you're going through the bayou. You're just using your fists too. That was cool. And I did not play Daughters. Nightmare, I think, is just like a hard mode almost, where you kind of gotta go through and survive as long as possible or something. Daughters, I don't think I might have played real quickly. And Jack's 55th birthday is great. That's like an arcade mode where you gotta run around. You're on a time limit, you gotta shoot enemies, and you gotta find food and bring it to Jack, and you gotta fill him up in certain food he doesn't like, so it brings your score down. And you gotta do it in a time limit, so you get more time as you kill enemies, and you get little power-ups and stuff. It's really fun, actually. I remember playing the hell out of that. You can put some spices on some food, and he likes it. You get more points and stuff. It's really cool. And the game itself is awesome. The main game, for sure. It's Resident Evil, except it's in first person. It's creepier, and you have the weird, crazy-looking enemies and stuff. Wild boss fights. There's a lot going on here. You use Mia briefly too, I believe, because Mia is, Ethan's wife, but she like worked for Umbrella or whoever. It wasn't even Umbrella. I forget which group it is now. Umbrella's still like new Umbrella's here still, but there's all the BSAA is somebody else. But you use her briefly on a ship, which is fun. But really cool game though. Story's good too on these ones, and in 8 as well. Obviously pick this up and play it if it's survival horror. Most people probably have played it already, but if by chance you haven't, definitely pick it up. Or just, if you haven't played the DLCs, you played the main game, get the DLC because it's awesome. A really, really good game. Like I said, it's creepy as hell, and it's intense, It's pretty long too. It's longer than 8. I want to say it's longer than 8. I feel like I played this definitely like 3 or 4 more hours longer than 8. But yeah, it's Resident Evil. Biohazard. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. That's just me talking about some games here. Sorry, I gotta respond to a text. 4 games here. I'll keep doing these if you guys want me to keep doing them. I'll probably do them regardless. Because I do love talking about games, but there's 4.